Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to Listen Up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Listen Up as I have another game recap video for you guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe as we only have 1 month of regular season basketball left, just 9 games in the regular season. Final score from tonight's game, UConn Huskies 84, DePaul Blue Demons 58. Do apologize again for getting this video out little bit late. Got a couple of things going on tonight, but made it on. We're finally here, and I got the game recap for you guys. Here it is. UConn came out shooting the three ball really good tonight. Azzi, Kaitlyn, Paige, and Sarah all found their long range shot early. Huskies also crashing the boards, out rebounding DePaul, and all the turnovers allowing UConn to get out into transition, help the Huskies build an early lead to start. And we saw that lead shrink a little bit in the second quarter when UConn went almost 4.5 minutes without scoring. But it was the turnovers by the Blue Demons that helped UConn to get out in front again, spreading the floor, finding the open teammates for three. And that's something we've seen UConn do consistently well on offense. Great spacing and passing on offense. We've seen a lot of screens recently too. That's really helped UConn kind of spread out their offense and allow these three shots to fall a little bit more. So that's been something really good to see on the offensive side of things. UConn really blew the game open towards the end of the first half thanks to their hot shooting behind the arc and a great start from Azzi Fudd, Sarah Strong, and Kaitlyn Chen. And the Huskies really blew the game open more in the third quarter. At one point, they went on an 18-2 run. It was more threes from Azzi Fudd and Kaitlyn Chen. Sarah Strong continued to work in the paint. Steals continued to turn into points for UConn. And Kaitlyn Chen had a perfect shooting night until the fourth quarter when she finally missed her first shot. But it was another great shooting performance from her. She can really make a difference on this team if she keeps shooting like this going into March. 17 points tonight from Kaitlyn and 3 of 3 from downtown. Azzi Fudd also had a great shooting performance, matching Chen's total with 17. Azzi and Kaitlyn leading the charge for UConn tonight with 17 each. Azzi was 4 of 7 from 3, and the same thing goes from Azzi as well. UConn really relies on her to find her stroke, especially behind the arc, the three ball. This team really needs Azzi to score consistently like that for the rest of the year. Sarah Strong with another good game, 11 points, 8 rebounds. Unusual performance tonight from Paige. She really struggled to find her shot. Didn't really score much in the second half. She did get pulled with 12 minutes left and then with 6.5 minutes left. I don't think she came back in, but I expect her to pick it up next game to get back on track. And the next one, she doesn't really rarely has two bad shooting performances back to back. So expect Paige to get back on track against Butler on Saturday. But another good outing from KK and Ashlyn off the bench, finding ways to contribute. And I thought Ice Brady played well tonight too off the bench. But we will get into a couple comments here, and I'll sign off for the night. First one will go to from Jamonte Thomas. They said there are a couple of things going on with the bigs. First, Gino doesn't really run any plays for Jana and Ice, and neither one gets enough playing time due to matchup issues. Second, the guards are not being patient enough to let Jana establish low post position. A lot of times I see the guards just dribbling on the perimeter and not even looking down low. I've seen Jana a few times pointing to them to throw the ball in the corner so she can get an entry pass. It's coaching, but they are dependent on Paige and Sarah to carry them. Yeah, I definitely don't disagree with that. I have noticed that at some points, um, in the games where, Jana's trying to get position down low, wants the ball, and UConn really can't find her sometimes. Yeah, and not a lot of plays are really ran for Ice or Jana to really get the ball down in the paint. But they obviously can score down there, but haven't really seen honestly too many opportunities to really show off their post moves or maybe their mid-range jumper in a lot of these games this season. Like I said, I think Ice Brady came into the game tonight. I know Morgan Shelley found her one time down low in the paint. UConn found her a couple times down there. She ended with 6 points, so I thought she had a good performance tonight. Jana, I think, struggled to kind of get going again. But yeah, like you said, I think Gino doesn't really run a lot of plays for them. So, rebounding is really the way that they impact the game for UConn and using their position down low on the defensive side of things. UConn doesn't really need them to score down low double-digit points every night, but it is nice to see them score, get the ball down low and score at some points during the game. Next one we'll go to from just me. They said update UConn 84, DePaul 58. Rye's prediction was UConn 83, DePaul 58. Wow, nice going, Rye. Yeah, it's been if you guys tune into the last check-in videos and stay to the end for the predictions, it's been a little rough for me this year. I know I've been off on a couple of those games, especially early in the season. I feel like I've been getting a little better here as we reach the end of the season. But yeah, I usually I honestly forget my score prediction, but I'm glad you reminded me because that's pretty good. Only getting got the Paul's score right and only one predicted one less for UConn, so I'd say that's pretty good. Final comment we'll go to here from Robert McMahon. They said Azzi Fudd is not the same player as she was as a freshman. Her shooting just hasn't been showing up. Kaitlyn Chen is a streaky shooter, so you never know if she will be throwing up bricks. Well, I think for Azzi, of course, she's obviously dealt with a couple injuries. Same thing for Paige Beckers dealing with a couple injuries. Paige came back last year, had a great year, came back again, obviously this year to, hopefully reach the top of the summit, if you will. Paige has had a solid year so far, but I think we are expecting a little bit more out of Paige. I think this year, for Azzi, obviously started the year on the bench, came back, got injured again, and now she's been back with us for probably about a month or maybe even longer now in the starting lineup. So that's been really nice to see. Hopefully she can stay healthy for the rest of the year because, like I just said, she did have a great shooting performance tonight. And I think as a freshman, the same thing with Paige. Her and Azzi really set the world on fire as freshmen when they first arrived. But I don't really think Azzi has lost any pace or gotten worse as a shooter by any means. Like she proved tonight. She had a couple rough shooting performances. That's going to happen from time to time, but she really did pick up strong tonight and got it going, especially from downtown, which was really nice to see. And like I said, for Azzi, that's what UConn relies on from her. She has such a quick, pure jumper. So it's really nice to see Azzi score. And like I said, hopefully she can keep that up. And for Kaitlyn Chen, I feel like the beginning of the season, a lot of us really wanted her to score. I kept saying about she hasn't really found her shot yet on this team, and maybe her main role isn't necessarily to score on this team. But the past week or so, I know that the game against Creighton, she shot 0 of 7 or 0 for 8 from downtown. So not obviously, it's obviously not her best performance in that game against Creighton, but she had a great performance tonight. 17 points. I'd say she's had a pretty solid week here. The last week she shot the ball really well. So I think for her and Azzi, either one of them behind Paige and Sarah can become that third shooter, or like we saw tonight. Sometimes Sarah's going to struggle, sometimes Paige is going to struggle like tonight, and Azzi and Kaitlyn they're both capable of having 15 to 20 points every single night. So, hopefully they can keep that up. UConn gets yet another Big East win. We got another game on Saturday against Butler. That's a pretty early one at 1 o'clock, but me and Phil will be back with the last check-in video. Probably Friday we'll be releasing that video. So I will see you guys Friday. Thanks for watching again. And yeah, final score: UConn defeats DePaul tonight. And like I said, I will see you guys back on the last check-in against Butler.